Let's just put this in the fridge right now, just in case. Hello, everyone. Hi. It is Thursday, February 27th. And I'm not gonna lie, I had no intention not to be vlogging. It just kind of aligned that I had a few other ideas and things pop up that videos took more precedent over than a vlog. And then suddenly today, I went to sit down to write and I went, oh my God, I only have 3 chapters left. But the people are waiting. Actually, I'm just waiting, but nobody really cares, I don't think, except for me because it's my book. But yeah, I am down to the last bit of my book and I really did want to share and like just capture what is going on and how much work I've been putting in. And I'm like, wow, I want to vlog this. So we're here today. And honestly, like, so technically looking at my outline now, like there is technically 3 chapters here, but there's 4 in the document that I'm working on. But when I was like looking through, first of all, I don't know who I was and why. I don't know why. I'm not going to be able to answer this. But chapter 25 here, which is now supposed to be chapter 31, is only 2 pages long. What is past Bree doing here? And I'm taking out things. And also, why are we talking about Chinese food? I think I just recognized that this wasn't a good idea. And I just went, we're just going to move on to the next chapter. So I have been slowly writing, which in part is why I haven't been vlogging anything. But I just, like today, just hit me where I'm like, oh my God, like I'm almost done. And my goal has been pushed back. If you've been on this channel, then you know that like I have been trying to get to the end of this draft for a couple months. I had initially really wanted to finish it in December, and then at the end of the year I got COVID and it took me out for about a week. And at that time I had also taken off time to be able to dedicate to write, and then I was so sick that I couldn't. So then I pushed it back to January. But the middle of January was a little bit trying for a lot of reasons. And then February has been similar in its chaos. And honestly, writing is currently one of the only things keeping me together. Even though I'm writing horror and it's not always easy to write, there has been some renewed hope in me. Despite all odds, despite things being like so bleak and dreary, this has been kind of my outlet. And so like when I'm getting these pockets of time and I'm doing the work and I'm editing them, it's just been going by and I haven't been noticing. I've been so absorbed in the writing when I'm writing that I'm not noticing that I'm getting closer and closer to the end. So thus, I haven't been vlogging. And we're here today. Now, when I did my 1 hour of writing every day for a week in the beginning of the month, I definitely thought it was sustainable. And then I got sick again. And then it kind of just like everything went out of whack again. So I have not kept up on the 1 hour, but I've been trying to find pockets. So like even some days it's been literally only like 3 sentences are edited, but I've been doing that and now we're here. So I don't know if we're gonna finish tonight, but like at the same time, like it's doable, which is also terrifying. And I have held on to my vampire themed wine from the Renaissance Fair since October, I want to say, because yeah, I went to the Renaissance Fair as one of the last weekends, and every year they do a Halloween themed wine where they pretty much just take one of their popular wines and add a little bit of glitter to it. But this year's theme was vampires, so they had a Catawba wine with glitter, sweet sparkly vampires, and I thought, oh my God, what better way to celebrate completing my 2nd draft than to drink a wine about sparkly vampires for a novel that started as a anti-sparkling vampires book. It has since evolved, by the way. Like, it's not just an anti-sparkly vampire book, but it started off like this. This idea and this concept back in like 2011 was like, I can make vampires darker than that. And now we're here. So anyway, I'm rambling because I just can't believe that all this time has passed and now I'm like, oh, hey guys, guess what? So that's where we're going to be. We're going to be here. We're going to finish it. I don't know if we're going to finish it tonight. Maybe we are. Maybe I'm going to have to drink celebratory wine because we're going to finish it. Or maybe we finish it tomorrow. But either way, I'm going to take you on the last hours of Project Vampire Draft 2. And yeah, I just want to say one last thing. This journey with this book has been so weird. It has been a roller coaster because on the one hand, I definitely think it's one of the strongest works I have done. On the other hand, I've had so much imposter syndrome with it. And because my life has been up and down, there's been times where I'm like, I'm fooling myself. This novel is not going to get me anywhere. And then I'm like godlike status the next minute. And I'm like, this is the novel. I'm going to land myself an agent with this. So realistically, I'm mostly in the middle most of the time. But I have been feeling really, really good doing these last chapter edits. Like since chapter 26, when things started going south, I've just been like, oh, this is good. Like this is where I'm gonna add more horror, and this is where I'm gonna make it more sinister. And oh my God, some of the lines I've written, I just like, oh. I also made a mood board for the first time for this project, which is wild. I made a playlist that go along with it, and I normally make mood boards, but I have a Pinterest board, but I never like narrowed it down, and I did that. So there's just so many things that have been filling me with like, oh, this novel's almost there. So yeah, I just think that's the writing journey. And honestly, if you don't doubt yourself half the time and think you're a god the other half, are you actually a writer? That's the question. All right, guys, I'm gonna shut up. Let's get to writing. It is 6:08 and I have all night right now. Let's go. Hi friends. So I just worked for 2 hours on one chapter. I knew again that like a lot of my ending had to change because the things that I wanted to incorporate to make my vampire a bad person needed to happen. So I think I had 257 pages when I had initially started this edit. I have added pages now. Now there's 260 in the Word doc, and I am at 251, and I have 2 chapters left. And truthfully, like, I want to continue, but this is my issue, is that, like, I need to go to bed soon. It's 8:15. I still have to go to work tomorrow. It sucks. You know, it is what it is. But if I didn't have work tomorrow, I would absolutely bang it out. But I want to savor the moment. Like, I want to get in to the end, and I want to be able to like sit down and enjoy my glass of wine and like just have like a we're here moment. And I feel like if I tried to rush tonight, one or two things would happen. Either one, I would be rushing the ending just to get to like the end so I can celebrate. And two, most likely, I wouldn't end up drinking. I'm not a big drinker, and I've cut out quite a lot of it. And so, like, just drinking a drink to drink it and not savor it seems kind of silly too. So I'm gonna stop here for the night. I still think the progress I've made in the last couple weeks is incredible, and I know that these last 2 chapters are going to be like it, and it's gonna have, you know, everything's gonna come together. I mean, seriously, like, even from where I started, we don't have much left, but yeah, I'm just happy to be here. So we have 2 chapters left. There is 9 pages in the Word doc to go. So I don't exactly know what I'm gonna do. I'm not supposed to like write at work, but you know, we get breaks and things like that. So maybe I will find a pocket of time to edit something on my phone. But if not, I think tomorrow after work, I can come home and just knock it out. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I think, like, I want to at this point. Like, I wanted to finish it by February. I didn't think it was going to happen when the middle of February hit. But now I'm like, it's doable. Tomorrow's the last day. I have one more day and I have 9 pages left. Like, this is doable. So yeah, I think we're gonna do it. So that's my check-in for the night. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Good morning, friends. It is Tuesday, March 4th, and I just set up my walking pad and my computer. I didn't do as much work as I wanted to last night. I got a couple paragraphs, but I just wasn't feeling it, probably because I had such a busy weekend, and then I had an extremely busy work day, and I was just a little bit like worn down last night. So my brain wasn't in it, but I have not quite a full 2 hours, but if I get into it, I could do an hour and a half of writing and potentially finish it. It is about 7 o'clock right now in the morning. I definitely won't be drinking wine before work, but if I finish it, I can celebrate tonight with a glass of wine. But yeah, I'm gonna see how far I get, if I get close to it, and I'm gonna try to walk while I do so. All right, so let's see where we go. We're done! Ah! Yeah, that didn't take me nearly as long as I thought it might, which I think is like because my brain was so busy this weekend. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have so much to do. But I kind of forgot, like, since I hand wrote this and like edited it I don't know, draft 1.5, I guess we'll call it, I had actually went back before I dove into this whole thing and I tweaked my ending already because I knew it ended too abruptly and I wanted her to have like more conversations with herself and like ending it more appropriately, because I initially ended it where it's like, oh, needs an epilogue or it needs a book 2. So I tweaked it. So it actually, like, I really like my last chapter. Am I too bold to say that it might be the best chapter in the whole book? I guess, yeah, there's that. Yeah, we're done. So as of now, I went from 28 chapters to 33 chapters, from 56,000 words to 70,000 words, which I think is just perfect. So yeah, I'm going to come back later tonight with my glass of wine and we'll talk about my next steps, but we did it. We finished another draft. This book, it's going to be queried this year. Mark my words, it's going to happen. All right, that's it for me. I will come back later, guys. So yeah, bye. Cheers, friends. Oh, that's not too bad. Actually not super sweet, which I do appreciate. So hi guys, we are at the end of this vlog and the end of another draft. I am honestly super proud of myself. I can't believe that after kind of like feeling like this draft was never going to be done, it just happened so suddenly. And we added like so many words to it, 15,000 words. We added pages, we added depth, and now we get to celebrate before moving on. So I just wanted to wrap this up by kind of talking about my next steps for this book, because I am planning on querying it this year. So initially I was hoping that maybe I wrote a clean enough first draft where I could get it out to readers after this draft. But it became very apparent when I had done my read through that I needed to do some extra editing in order to make the story just a bit more cohesive. So because of that, I am not going to ask for readers at this point, but I am going to dive right into my third draft. I'm only gonna take a week break. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna take a week break. I'm gonna do some self-care and maybe like some like creative refilling because I want to go into this with like really, really positive vibes, for lack of a better term. I would really like to be able to jump right in and feel just as good as I did ending this second draft. So I don't know how long this is gonna take. I would love to be like, I'm gonna have this done by the end of March. It could be possible, but I doubt it. So I'm gonna kind of add like a, maybe by the end of April to have this done. But if I can get it done sooner than that, then I absolutely will. And I'm gonna kind of layer it. So what I mean by that is there's a couple different things I wanna do like when I hit certain milestones. So I bought a critique last year for 10,000 words and I haven't submitted it yet because I wanted to get through this draft to see where I'm at because I am gonna submit the first 10,000 words of Vampire to this critique. My thought process is that 10,000 words is about the same size as your sample pages, like the first 3 chapters. So I figured it would be really great to get some professional eyes. The person that I bought this off of, it was for the Canadian's Best Sci-Fi and Fantasy book, and I paid the highest tier to get a 10,000 word critique. So he is an author and an editor, and I think he has a pretty good eye for the work that he does. So I thought, yeah, I might as well, like this is horror, which is like, you know, under the speculative fiction genre. So might as well get a professional to look at these pages and tell me what is good or not good. And I would like to do that after I edit the first 10,000 words. So I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna do my edit again. So third draft, edit what I need to do. As soon as I hit my 10,000 word mark, I am gonna go ahead and send that off to the editor to review. And then probably when I get to the 30,000 mark or maybe 35,000 word mark, then I am gonna probably create a YouTube announcement and post on my Instagram that I am looking for beta readers, and I will go ahead and create a Google form so that people who might be interested can read it. I do have 2 critique partners on board as long as everything lines up. But yeah, I would ideally like this to be done by the beginning of May because I am hopefully taking a trip in May, and I would like this off in the hands of people so that I can just enjoy the trip and not worry about writing or trying to meet deadlines. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So like halfway through this, like the third draft edits, I will put out the call for beta readers, and then hopefully by maybe the end of April, I will have selected my beta readers. And yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So I am hoping that by May, this is going to be in some people's hands and they are going to give me some feedback that I could then utilize to be able to query this novel. I've already had feedback on my query letter twice, and that was pretty solid, I think. So this is just the next step. We're almost there. I know everyone has differences in opinions on when they should query, but if I could query by the end of summer, I think that's a perfect timeline for me. So that's where we're at. So thank you guys for sticking around. Thanks for listening to my rambles and my kind of crazy thoughts on all of this. I'm gonna go enjoy my wine and prepare for maybe a relaxing week ahead before I dive headfirst into some intense third draft edits. And until next time, I'll see you then. Bye.